Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our pre-match press conference to preview our fixture this weekend against Norwich City. And if we can start off with Vinny O'Connor from Sky Sports, please.
Hi, Rafa. Good to see you. Hope you're well.
Good morning. How are you? You okay?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Nice.
First of all, I want to start with the good news, obviously, of getting in a new signing this week in Anwar El Ghazi. How did that actually come about? How much did you want to bring into Everton, and why did you want to sign him?
Yeah, to be fair, it was part of the deal with Digne when we started the conversations, and I think thinking about COVID situation, possible injuries, the African Cup of Nations with the away was the possibility to bring someone with quality that could give us different options. The good thing is because it's a loan with an option, so the player has to prove himself. We can see him, so I think it's a win-win situation. If he's doing well, everybody will be happy. And I think that is a positive thing, and we have more quality in the squad and more competition.
Just to clarify though, Rafa, because there was a rumour that this was maybe a signing that had been imposed on you, but is this actually a signing that you yourself wanted to make?
We were talking about that before. What I say, we needed a player in this area that could be capable to play in different positions. So we did our research in terms of quality, personality. He's a good lad, and he wants to impress. That is the main thing. I was talking with him. He told me his desire to come, to fight, to show his level. So I think it was a positive conversation. And after that, it was clear that to bring someone in these conditions, the only thing that I can see is a positive for everyone.
At the same time, Rafa, how do you feel about losing Luca D now to a side that is just 3 points above you in the Premier League, having obviously played that game more?
Yeah, the reality is that when you have a player that is thinking about to leave, and then you have an offer, you have a possibility, the main thing for me as a manager is to think about my responsibilities, to make decisions for the best for the team, for the best for the club, and then the future. So we brought a couple of players, young players, that they are good players, hungry players, that I am sure that they will be good now, but I'm sure that they will be even better in the future. So overall, I think it's something that has to be in the end positive for the club. When you are selling a player that will be 29 years old next year, you bring a player of 22, a player of 20 years old, and in different positions that we needed to balance. So I think we are balancing the squad, we are improving the economy, and then hopefully everything will be positive for us.
On leaving though, Luca obviously posted a message on social media where he said, sometimes it only takes one person from the outside to destroy a beautiful love affair. Is that something that you took personally? Did you feel it was aimed at you, and how do you react to that?
What I said before, I'm the manager and I take responsibility of my decisions. My decision is to think about the team, the future of the club, and then I think we have to move forward and then think about that.
The fact as well, Rafa, that you've been able to bring money into the club, how does that increase your chances of being able to do further business between now and the end of this transfer window? And is central midfield a priority between now and then as well?
We are always open to strengthen the squad. We are looking in each position. If we have an opportunity available, obviously we will try to do the best for us. The reality also is that we balance the books, and I think it's quite positive also for the present and the future. So then we are open to any good option. And at the same time, I'm pleased that we brought 3 players early in the transfer window. So everything that we were saying that we could do, we did it. And now what we have to do is to be sure that this competition between players allow us to win more games.
Is it just one more, you're thinking, between now and the end of the window, or is there a possibility of more?
Yeah, at the moment we are happy with the 3 that we brought, but we are open-minded, and then if we can bring anyone else that can improve the team, we are also ready for that.
Squad-wise as well, Rafa, how are you looking? I'm thinking of the injuries to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Jared Branthwaite, Fabian Delph, Yerry Mina, and Richarlison. How far away are they?
I think they are, all of them, they were training yesterday. So at the moment, not available for injuries is just Tom Davies, that he had his operation. In terms of injuries, everybody was on the pitch yesterday, or they were training. So now we have to treat them carefully. But at the moment, they are fine. And then it's up to us to decide who can be available for this game or the next games.
How long are you thinking for Tom Davies after his op as well?
It's difficult to say, but these kind of things, you are expecting more than 1 month, because if I say 2, 3 or whatever, it will be too much for me. So it has to be the surgeon and after the physio. But I am sure that 1 or 2 months, I think he will be out.
Obviously, we're looking at Norwich. They've lost 6 on the bounce, so in many respects, it's a must-win game for them. But how much of it is a must-win game for yourselves as well, just to build on the cup win, but also to gain some momentum in the Premier League now?
Yeah, we saw in the cup game that this team can react. So we don't want is to react. We want to be proactive and then be sure that we can be ahead and then win games this way. For us, every game is a win. It's a game that we have to win, and then we approach everyone like that with this idea. So this is the first one. Hopefully now we players coming back. Still not fully fit. People need also to understand that match fitness comes with games, but we are quite confident now that we have people coming back, and also we cannot forget that we have 3 games in hand. So then we need to be sure that if we play this game and we have some wins, we will be in a much better position, and it will be easy also to play the way that we want to play.
And also, just to check, Rafa, no new COVID cases this week, has there?
I think maybe we'll have someone, but okay, we will see tomorrow. But I think it's not easy to have no one with COVID.
Okay, thanks, Rafa. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vinny. We'll now move on to Pete Coley, please, at Premier League Productions.
Hi, Rafa.
Hi.
The new year and January in general, it's a great time for starting things, whether it be diets or exercise routines, but also it can be a change in your own destiny. What's your message to fans at this time and about unity in getting behind the club?
I think it's very clear. Every year, as you say, is the same, but all the fans in all the clubs, they realize that the best thing to get the best from your players and the best from everyone is to stay behind the team. And there's a lot of time later on that you can analyze what was right or wrong. But the experience here is that changing things in the middle was not ideal. I think now we have a lot of things that we are changing, and then we are trying to fix some issues, some problems. And I think little by little, you can see that in terms of business. For example, I remember one of the press conference, they were asking me about signing at the end of the transfer window. No, we are already signing players, doing our job. So we are working in a way that I think that is the way to work in a professional football club that wants to be competitive. So we are trying to do that. We are changing things in different departments, and I think that we are improving that. It's very easy to say, okay, yeah, but on the pitch, if we have the players coming back, the key players coming back, we will be stronger. With the new signings, we will have a lot of competition. So I think overall, in terms of what we are trying to do, and you say new year, is to improve things and be sure that in the future we will have the same issues that we have this year, that you didn't have players in some positions, or with injury players you were weaker. So we try to balance a squad that has to be stronger, and for the present, and what I say before, for the future.
Vinny talked about Anwar El Ghazi. Is it a simple message, Rafa? Play well and you get yourself a new contract?
It's quite simple, yes. When I was talking with him, he showed me his desire to come here and to do well and to impress. So I think it's a win-win situation if everything is fine.
Norwich, as well as Vinny mentioned, rooted to the bottom at the minute of the Premier League. This is a great chance for you, isn't it, to spark a runoff?
I think we cannot underestimate any rival in the Premier League. A lot of teams, they have quality and they have some good moments, bad moments, but in terms of playing, they play well. So they concede goals and they lose games, but they play well. So I was watching the last game against West Ham, and for 40 minutes, they were there in the game. And then in some of the other games, obviously we have been working on that. They are fine. So after they concede and they lose, but I am not saying that we cannot go there thinking about to win. We have to do it, but we have a lot of respect for the other team.
Thanks, Pete. We'll go to Alistair McGowan, please, at the BBC.
Hi, Rafa.
Hi.
I know you said you have to have a responsibility as a manager. You may have seen that Luca Digne said he didn't want his spell at Everton to end this way. Did you want it to end this way?
My feeling always is the same. I try to do the best for the team, and if you are in a boat and someone is not rowing in the with the strength that you are expecting, then you have to make your decision. So thinking about the future, I think was overall something that hopefully will be good in terms of new players coming, more competition, balance the squad. So economically, I think also is a good business. So hopefully will be right. Then people will say this time or not is a good moment. It doesn't matter now. We have to do it, and we have to move forward and thinking about what we can do in the next game, what we can do in the future to be sure that we are stronger and more competitive.
And the money, you mentioned the money coming in there and also sort of balancing the books. Does this make the difference between whether you can sign another player or not, the money that's coming from Luka?
No, really. I said that it's helping in terms of the financial situation, that we knew that there was quite complicated or tight at the beginning. But now, say, we are doing good business, and then we are in a much better position. So I think that the squad is stronger than 15 days ago, to say something, and it's stronger than it was at the beginning of the season. So hopefully we can show that on the pitch in the next months.
Thanks, Alistair. We'll go to Ian Abrahams, please, at TalkSport.
Hi, Rafa, how are
Hi,
you?
Ian. Fine, and you?
Yeah, not bad. Just got three quick questions for you. First of all, you're 15th in the table. Is that a false position? If not, why are Everton underachieving?
Yeah, I think that we know that the situation with the strikers, the top scorers of last year injured, and then we have the Doucouré and Jeremina in a time that we're losing games. We have the spine of the team out. They are coming back, so we are a little bit stronger. Hopefully, what they say, in the next months, will be even stronger with 3 games in hand. So all these things that you put together, so we have to be quite optimistic thinking about the future.
You mentioned earlier you were fixing issues and problems. What are they? And are they just on the field or a combination of on the field and off the field?
Yeah, I think it's every fan, they know what they were expecting in the last years, and they know what they were receiving in one way or another way. So then we are trying to fix these things to be sure that the squad will be more competitive and every department will be more competitive, and then we can find solutions to problems if we have, like everyone. But at the moment, this year, it was not easy. Not easy in the transfer window in terms of money available, not easy when we have to cope with the injuries of key players. So I think we are making the right things for the future, and hopefully at the end everybody will appreciate that.
And finally, while I appreciate the old football saying that there are no easy games in football, Norwich are bottom. They have lost the last 6. They haven't scored a Premier League goal since the end of November. If you don't win tomorrow, does this put even more pressure on you? So therefore, is this a game you absolutely have to go and win and put in a performance?
I will give you the example maybe of Hull in the Cup. We must win in the Cup to progress. We conceded a goal and still we reacted. We have a lot of chances and we did it. So that this year we have issues because we were missing our top class players, our top scorers. So then now that they are coming back, I have more confidence, and hopefully we will start with this game, and we will carry on winning games in the future. But we will have more chances if we have all the players available and competing for their positions.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ian. We'll go to Chris Coughlin, please, at Radio Merseyside.
Hi, Rafa.
Hi, Chris.
Looking at the Brighton and Hull games, you worked with 5 at the back in both of those matches, but conceded 5 goals across the 2 games. What do you put that down to, and how frustrating was that?
I think it was clear. It's difficult to explain things when you lose, but okay, it was very easy to analyze. We made individual mistakes, and in the end, cost us the game. But we have had this issue for a while, playing with 4 at the back, with 3 at the back, with 5 at the back. It's just a question of I say no systems, it's more about tactics. So then we have to be more aggressive. We have to have more intensity at the beginning of the games to be sure that we are strong enough and we don't give any hope to the other team, and then we put ourselves in a difficult position. So we have been talking about that. We know that we have to improve that, and then hopefully we will see that we have learned from our mistakes in the next games.
How difficult can that be for a set of players that are used to playing with 4 at the back to go into 5 at the back, and how much have you talked about that before, go into that system?
Okay, if I change your environment, what do you need to do well? To practice, no? I suppose. Then we practice, we train, we coach the players with different systems, and they have experience also to play different systems. It's not about systems, it's about what you can do or what you are capable to do, and then confidence and a lot of things together. But as a coach, I used to play different systems with different teams and during the season, and it's just to coach them and be sure that they understand the principles, and then you carry on doing that. And what I say before, to concede a goal in the other day is nothing to do with the system against Hull, or the first goal against Brighton is nothing to do with the system or the second goal. So it's just a question of to pay more attention, be more focused, more concentrated, and then it will be easier.
And of course, it was Mikolenko's first competitive game since the 12th of December for Dynamo Kiev. How do you think he did in such a high-tempo game, and how did he react to getting 120 minutes into his legs?
I will tell you that obviously we knew the player. It's an international player, and then we knew the player, and it was one of the first names that we have as a left full back. But the reality that I was impressed because we thought that he didn't talk any English, and then talks a little bit, but he understands more or less a lot of things. He's very keen to learn. We have been already watching clips with him and with Patterson about what they do, what we want to do, how they want to do it. So all these things, and he's a hard worker. He's a nice lad, and he's always aware, keen to learn. I will say he's aware of what is going on around, and he's asking or he's trying to do things. So I am really impressed, and I think that every player, especially the foreign players and someone coming from Ukraine, they will need time to adapt. But what I can see in a 22-year-old player, the desire, the potential to be a very good player for the next 4 or 5 years for Everton Football Club, hopefully more for the club.
Thanks, Chris. We'll just take one from Jim Conlon, please.
Hi, Rafa.
Hi.
Rafa, many people will look at Everton and they say good wingers in Damari Gray and Andros Townsend, top quality striker Dominic Calvert-Lewin, good centre holding midfielders in terms of Alan. Well, people will look at Everton and say maybe that you're missing that type of player that you had in Valencia, that Pablo Aimar that sort of plays in the hole, that conductor in chief. And is that a player that obviously costs an awful lot of money during January, but is that the type of player that you need to link the whole pieces together?
Yeah, if you play 4-2-3-1, this player behind the striker is the player that can link with the others. So it's very clear that this kind of player, normally they are top class players with quality that everybody can see because they give assists, they finish. Normally also they take set pieces and they are quite good. Then in this case we have been using, at the beginning this position was Richarlison with Dominic when they were not available. We use even Gray, Iwobi in these positions, even Townsend. So we are looking to find this player that he can link with the others and he can make the others play better. But if we don't have this player, be sure that we use the player with quality that we have in the wide areas and up front that we couldn't use with the strikers. But in terms of wingers, we're doing that. So we are replacing this number 10 with players in the wide areas that they can make the difference. So we are happy with the performance of Gray, Anthony Gordon or Andros Townsend, and hopefully now El Ghazi and Iwobi, if he come back, they will increase the competition, and maybe we don't need this number 10 because Richarlison and Dominic, they are doing really well as strikers.
Thanks for that, Jim.
Thank you.
Richard, I noticed you've got your hand up there. Is that one for the open section, or are you hoping to ask that in the papers section?
Sorry, Andy, can you hear me?
Hi, Richard. Yeah, are you planning to ask a question for the papers?
Sorry, I was just putting a hand up early.
All right. Okay. Okay, guys. Well, thank you very much. That's the end of the open section.
Thank you.
We'll now move on to the newspapers. So if everyone else can leave the line, please, at this point.